Hi, my name is Grace. In this video, I will talk about limit state of serviceability. Limit state that correspond to the maximum stresses that the structural members can resist in order not to reach conditions in which they are unsafe, like bare fracture, buckling, excessive cracking, vibrations, and rotations. And they can be classified into stress depletion limit state and limit state of serviceability. Limit state of serviceability to the performance of structures under normal service loads and have to do with the use of occupancy of the structure. For this limit state, the loads are taken in consideration but aren't increased by the factors. Limit state of serviceability is for excessive deformations is when large deflections occur or support declines like settlement. Or for cracking is when cracking openings exceed allowable values, and extraordinary vibrations is when in the absence of tapping, vibrations increase their frequencies excessively. Importance of deflections. Actually, the use of concrete plus steel has allowed the use of relative slender members. This increasing crackings and deflection problems is for that large deflections results in big cracks and big cracks results in possible concrete failure. That is why any structure used by the people must be sufficiently rigid and free of vibrations for the security. Deflection control. The AC 318-14 code considers two types of deflections. Short-term deflections is caused by the permanent and variable actions in the service conditions, and long-term deflections is caused by the permanent and variable loads that is applied in sustained manner. The norm considers two methods for deflections. The number one is through the calculation of the minimum height in beams and the minimum thickness in the one or the directions slabs. But this method is used only when the beams on the slabs are not connected with the other members that may be damaged for the deflections. The method number two is using the deflection limitation table in the chapter 24 of the IC 318-14 operate requirements. Definitions for the calculation of deflections. M sub A is the maximum moment acting to the effect of the loads, but without being affected by the factor, is only the moment. M sub CR is the moment of service in which the flexural tensible stretch is reached in the most stressed concrete fiber. This moment is the cracked moment. And we give the value using these equations. And the AC allows neglecting the reinforcing steel in the tension and the concretion zone for to calculate the MCR. The moment of inertia for the cracked section is ICR, which is calculated considering the reinforcing steel transformed into concrete and neglecting the tensible concrete zone. You look like the second part of the image, only work the steel. The effective moment of the inertia, E sub E, is based on an estimate of likely amount of cracking caused by the varying moment allowed to expand. These equations combine the moment of inertia and the crack moment and the maximum moment. For long-term deflections, is caused by significant increases in these deflections due to the screen and fall load. If concrete is loaded early, its long-term deflections will increase considerably. Factors to affect the long-term deflections is such as moisture, temperature, curing conditions, compression steel content, relationship between strength and strength, and the age of concrete at the time to the load is applied. For the calculation of deflections, we have 6 steps. These steps involve in calculating instantaneous and long-term deflections can be summarized as follows. Finally, we look types of cracks is flexion cracks, shear cracks, torsion cracks, adherent cracks, and shear flexion cracks. Like control, the maximum crack weights that are considered acceptable depend on the location of the member in the questions, the type of the structure, the surface texture of the concrete, likely and other factors. For members exposed to the aggressive environment such as antifreeze chemicals and water sea.